So good morning all. Like last class we have seen about the architecture and pin configuration of your 8086. Today we'll continue from that. So already I told what are the pins you have in 8086. Total you have 40 pins in that, and you can see some multiplexed address and data and some multiplexed address and status lines are there. So you totally have in 8086 is 20 address lines and 16 data lines. So here the 16 data lines from D0 to D15. Okay, you can see it is multiplexed along with your address. That's why it is AD0 to AD15. And you have remain totally I told to 20 address lines. So 16 is already multiplexed with the data line. So remaining 4 you have to it is multiplexed with the status line like S3 to S6. So in minimum mode and maximum mode configurations, we have seen, I told minimum mode is like it is operating as a single processor. It is not interfacing with any other processor. If it is like a maximum mode, it is usually interfacing with other chip configuration. So it can be either 8088 or 8086 version 1. Like that you have some interfacing unit. So which means when it is operating in maximum mode means it is called as a multiprocessing mode. So in that you have certain variations is there from 31 to 24. In that some pin variations is there for maximum, for minimum. So we have seen what are this function of each pin. Okay, so I told for minimum mode you have hold address, write, memory, IO, data transmit or receive. So like that we have seen a few things in for minimum mode. Same to your maximum mode, you have request or grant or lock. So this we will see for maximum mode what are these things, like from 24 to 31 we will see what are this pin details are. Okay, so ground I already told about ground, clock, PCC, reset. So address and data buses are multiplexed. So you have few interrupts like this, and interrupt acknowledgement is there. Similarly, hold and hold acknowledgement, it is operating in the minimum mode, and address and status bus are like multiplexed. So status bus indicating some functions which is listed there. And this is what high bus high enable, like most significant bit it will be used. It is also multiplexed along with your status bus. So this indicates which mode it is operating based on your voltage. Okay. So minimum pin details we have seen. RD means a read, it should be low, which means it is indicating. Similarly, write is low means write signal is performed. It is telling whether it is a memory locations or it is accessing our IO devices. Like that, this pin indicates. And similarly, DT and RT bar is nothing but data transmit or receive. And DEN is nothing but data enable, data bus enable. Similarly, for maximum mode, instead of the previous thing what we have seen like BLE maximum mode like that, instead of that you have RQ bar, so which indicates request and grant, GT is grant, and you have S0 to S2. Okay, so these also indicates like S0 is S2. This also is going to indicate your status line. So these status line will be carrying out by the what kind of operation is carried out by the processor. So these line will indicate what type of operation is carried out by your status lines. So during bus cycles, we will see what is bus cycle. So in that, for each bus cycle, based on the, since it is 3-bit, you have 8 possible combinations. Since you have S0 to S2, you have 3 things. So you have totally 8 combinations of status lines. So when it is 0, it indicates interrupt acknowledgement. And it is 001 means read IO port. If it is 010, write IO port. Like that, you have 8 combinations for these status lines, which is indicating what operations is carried out by your processor. The next one is RTQ and GT bar. So you have with the suffix 0 as well as with the suffix 1. Okay, these indicates request and grant. So when the processor is like these pins, like when it is used by the local buses is nothing but the line address lines or data lines. So these are pins which is used by some master devices. So when this signal indicates, like if any other local processor is using your bus, so the processor will force that particular another processor, if it is using, it is indicating to end the particular process. So again it will be sending a request. So these pins, when they send a request, it will force the processor to release whatever buses it has and end that particular bus cycle. So for that request, and then granting is nothing but it is accepting those requests and it is releasing those local buses and ending that particular process. So for that, for these operations, you require this pin. So when this pin is low, okay, RQ is low, which indicates request is sent, and similarly grant is received. So you have 0 as suffix and 1 is there. So generally this GT naught will have a higher priority, which means RQ bar and G, this line will have more priority compared to this one. So this everything will come in your bus accessing. So we'll see this pin, you have to know the functions. After this, knowing this function of each pin, we will see about what is the bus operation for this 8086. So generally bus cycles is nothing but if I am performing one operation, what are the sequence of steps which is carried out, which pin is high or which pin is low, if it is a read operation is performed, a read signal should be RT bar should be low. But if I'm performing a write operation, then RT bar should be high. So like that, first you have to know the function of each pin. Then we will see in the bus cycles how it is done. Okay. Similarly, lock bar is there. So if one processor is using some system, it is using like it is accessing your bus, some processor is accessing your bus, at that time the control should be with the processor. If I want to make a control only with the processor, I need not to want to give a control to any other unit. In that case, your lock signal should be low. So if it is low means a control is given only to the, if CPU is executing some instruction. Okay, if log signal is low and control is given only to that, it will not be accessed by the any other processes. If you want to do so, the log signal will be kept low. So as I told, it is activated only by the central control, has to be given by only the processor. If any other devices are preventing, it is preventing the control to be accessed by the other peripheral devices. For that reason, our logs should be low. And QS0 and QS1, this is very simple. Like it indicates the status of your queue. So usually in 8086, you have 6-byte queue is there, right? So this 6-byte queue, that is like fetching, decoding, and executing. What method it is following? Pipelining method. So compared to other previous processors, here you are using pipelining, but in previous processors, they will not use like that. Once fetch, decode, execute is completed, then only the next signal, next instruction will be fetched. But here, while executing itself, you are able to fetch. If 2-byte hole is present, then the queue will be filled. It will be updated. So like that, a procedure is followed. So it will indicate the queue status. So if it is 00 means the queue is like idle state. If it is 01 means the first byte of the opcode, say it is decoded might be, and after that the queue is empty. If there is hole is there, 2-byte hole is there, then it will be updated. And 11 means the subsequent byte of your opcode. So it will be decoded, executed. Like that, it will show the status of your queue, whatever it is. This pin will be indicating that. So we have seen all these lines, what are the pins you have in a maximum and minimum mode. So generally we'll see what is the bus operation, how these pins are going to indicate your operation. So generally in 8086, you have, I told, address and data buses will be multiplexed. So why actually we are multiplexing this address and data buses? In order to save more, instead of going like 60 or 70 pins like that, I can reduce the number of pins, right? Within one pin itself, I'm giving two functionalities. It can be acting as an address or it can be acting as a data. But if I'm not multiplexing, means what it will make, your pin will be increasing. Instead of 40 pin 8086, I have to increase your pin numbers. So it will again increase your complexity. So in order to reduce the number of pins, we are multiplexing your 16 data buses with your 16 address buses, and the remaining 4 address buses will be multiplexed with your status bus. So here you can see, I think this one, the 4 addresses multiplexed with this status, and similarly the 16 addresses multiplexed with data. So like that, we are doing the multiplexing address and data in order to maximally utilize your pins. That's why we are going for 40 pin package. Similarly, when I want to demultiplex this, means you have to use some transceivers. Like that, it will be required when I need to demultiplex your data and address means. So generally in bus operation of 8086, you have 4 cycles, like the cycles is like referred as T1, T2, T3 and T4. So these are the 4 cycles. Generally you have either it can be a memory write or it can be memory read operation. So memory read means nothing but I am getting some data from the memory, and write is like from the processor you are writing some data, something into your memory. So you are receiving or transmitting a data between your processor or and memory. So this indicates your bus cycles. So generally 4 cycles are there, starting from T1 to T4. So generally in all the bus cycles, address will be transmitted in the first cycle, that is T1. So this cycle, one cycle, you can see. T1 means up to this cycle. Okay. T2 means the start from this low to the next high. So each one is intervals, you can see T1, T2, T3 like that. And after that you have one more thing, that is TW, that is nothing but waiting state. If some devices are not very fast enough, we will give some waiting period for that in order to keep it ready for the next cycle. For that your wait period is required. So generally for either it is a memory read or memory write, the first cycle will be a sending the address. Either address is transmitted by the processor. It will be during your T1 period. Once for a complete one cycle, the signal has to send a address. And the next cycle like T2 and all, T3 and all, your data transmissions will be taking place. And if some devices are not ready, means you will give some waiting state, that is inserted between like T3 and T4. Between these two, you have a waiting state because of many your processor is very fast, but your IO devices are not so. IO devices and all, it is like will be very slow thing. So for that it requires some time to get ready. So because of that, your TW's period is given between your T3 and T4. So then we will go one by one. See here, first clock cycle, it is given like T1, T2, T3. Some wait period is inserted between your T3 and T4. So these 4 things is, I'm just giving it as memory read cycle. Once memory is read, I'm going to go for a memory write cycle. So we'll be seeing separately generally what are the things what we have seen previously, the functionality of pins there. We will come across here. Like for first thing, first cycle, I told your address will be, you have been sending your address. So the first one, ALE, what is ALE? We know that is address / enable. So this will distinguish your address and database. So the functionality of this is it will going to distinguish your address and database. Your address will be transmitted by the processor in the T1 duration. So depending upon your maximum or minimum mode operation, these signals will be transmitted. So similarly for write operation also, the start of the thing, it is going to transmit your address. And see, I'm transmitting the address. I told it is going to distinguish your address and database. So you have two multiplexed lines. Like here you have address and status, and here you have address and data. So when ALE is like high, which indicates address is transmitted, that's why in that particular period, I mean in this T1, this will be enabled. Like this one line indicates A16 to A19, that is your address, that will be enabled. You can see that is high. Okay, I can see this line, it is high here. And similarly, during that duration, wherever you have address, that will be enabled. Similarly, here your address is enabled. In the multiplexed one, whenever you are sending ALE is high in the duration, which indicates the first period you are sending your address. So wherever you have addresses multiplexed along with some other thing, in that only the address will be enabled during that period. And after from T2 to D4, your data transmission occurs. That's why here data will be high. So in the next duration, it is like a bus reserved for data input. It starts reading your data, and here an actual data transfer is occurred from D0 to D15 using that pin. And similarly, your status registers like S3 to S7 will be enabled. So whenever a read cycle occurs, during the first T1, address will be sent. In address is sent means it is going to distinguish your address and status and address and data bus. So that's why in the first duration, address will be enabled. So wherever you have multiplexed along with some other value, it may be a data or status, only address is enabled, and after that cycle, you will transmit your data. Okay, so I think these two might be cleared. And this thing we have seen. And this S0 to S2. So we have seen what is the status. S0 to S2. It has like totally 8 combination are there. So based on that, it will be during the clock period, it will be low. So after that, it will be enabled. Whenever data transmission occurs or data write operation occurs, it will be enabled. So depending upon the combinations, you can see. I will show you that this one. It is read or write or halt process, code access. These combinations will show you what operation is carried out. So this thing is completed. Next, coming to ready. I told certain IO devices are very slow. That's why it will wait for first half, and during the till wait period, it will be like very slow. And after that, it will start to make ready. It will be same for read operation as well as for write operation. So initially, it will be in a waiting process. It will take some time to because your processor is fast, other devices are slow. It requires some waiting period, and after your T3, after your waiting period, it will start to between your T3 and T4, it will be start to enable. Okay, so after that, this ready is over, and this one read bar slash IND interrupt acknowledgement. So this one depend on the cycle. Like say if my read operation is done, read operation cycle is there. So this RD bar indicates your read low. Which means when the signal is low, which indicates your read operation is there. So when you are getting your data in your address and data bus, I think here you will start receiving your data. Up to this, it will start receiving your data, and then after data transfer occurs, it starts read and then transfer occurs. So during that period, I need to read the data, right? A processor has to know I have to read your data. It will be indicated by a low signal. RD bar is there, which means you have to make a signal low when you are going to read your data from the memory. So processor, when this low signal occurs, it will start read from that particular memory location. What is the data? It will start to read. I'm telling up to this. This is up to your read cycle. Okay. When you are writing the signal, I know I will not read, right? When I'm going to write, in that case, it will not be low. Only when I'm reading your data, it will be kept low. And this is completed. Now coming to your data transmit or receive low. Okay, so when the receive is low, read means what? I'm receiving your data. Okay, when write cycle is there, when during the write cycle, what we will do, we will transmit the data to the memory location. So this R bar indicates you are start to receive the data from the memory. Processor is receiving your data, so it has to keep low for your entire duration up to T4. It has to be low because you are receiving your data. And this DEN, what is DEN? Anyone can say what is DEN? I think we have already seen full form. Anyone? What is DEN?
Data enable.
Data enable. So this indicates whether a valid data, whenever a valid data is transmitted, that will indicate it by the low signal. So in this duration, whenever you are start to receive your data, that is your valid data. Okay. If the signal is not low, means it is mean like it is an invalid data. So it will not carried out to your write process. So whenever the signal is low, it indicates your valid data or not. Okay. And write bar. So write bar will be like, if it is low means write operation is carried out. Since this is a read cycle, this will be high only. During the write cycle, this will be low, indicating a write operation is carried out by the processor into some memory location. So we have seen about the read cycle. Similarly, for the write cycle, it is again splitted as T1 to T4. During first one, you will transmit your address. So during the address transmission, your address bus, whichever multiplexed, it will be high, and the remaining other period, your data will be out. Okay, here data is in, and in the write process, what we will do, from the processor to the memory, we will try to write your data. So here data out is there, and similarly status register from S3 to S7 will be high. And coming to this read line, since it is a write operation, it is like high only. And for ready, same, like here also IO devices take some time, then only it will become ready. Okay, so it will wait for up until before your wait period, and after that it will ready to receive the data. Okay, ready to transmit your data. And here data transmit, since I have received already the data, I need to transfer it. So transfer means it is enabled. So from this whole duration, data is going to be transferred from the processor to the memory location. And the data enable, when the data enable is high, which indicates valid data is like transmitted. So valid data is indicated by a low signal. And write operation is low, because write operation is carried out, it has to be low whenever from here you will start receiving data, no? So from here it will be low. You have to write the data from the processor. Processor will write the data into the memory location. So these are the general bus operation. It will not be same for maximum and minimum mode. The operation is same, but for maximum modes, your pin are going to differ. As we seen, like for maximum mode and minimum mode, certain functionalities are a little bit changed. So you have to include that also in your bus cycles. Like S0 to S2, it will not be there for your minimum mode. Instead of this S0 to S2, you have there like memory or IO bar, data transmit or receive bar. This alone you will get. So this is general one. And similarly, IO read and IO write will be differ. Memory read and memory write cycles will be differing. So if you at least read a general operation, you will get an overall idea how your bus cycles is going to be. Then we can classify into different types like IO read or IO write, memory read and memory write. For that you have maximum mode operation and minimum mode operation. So that and all we will see one by one. So, but this is the general overall operation of your 8086. So after this, we will go into some interesting topic. This will be very easy. Addressing modes. Okay. Since bus operations still are there, but this will be a little bit interesting compared to that. I will take this first, and then we will go for the remaining bus cycles in the next class. Okay. So you have some types of addressing modes in 8086. So these are these types of addressing modes like immediate addressing, direct addressing, register indirect, indexed addressing modes, register relative, and base plus index. Similarly, base relative plus index. So these are some types of addressing modes you have in 8086. And similarly, you have other addressing modes also, like using jump operation and all, that will be come under like control addressing modes. These are like sequence one. So that control and all we will see afterwards. So when you take this kind of sequence instruction, immediate addressing modes. In immediate addressing mode is nothing but if I want to add give directly to, if you are directly giving some values to any memory registers. So instructions will be like move AX comma, you have 10 AB. So data will be presented directly in your instruction, and it will be either, it can be a 4-bit, 8-bit or a 16-bit data can be there. It will be directly given in your instruction, means it is called as a immediate addressing mode. So in this, what the data is given, 10 AB, this is your data. So it is given like this data has to move to this location, that is AX registers. So move AX means this data will be transmitted to the AX register. So the lower byte will take, this one is your AL and this one is your AH. So in AH, the lower higher byte will be saved, and in AL, lower byte will be saved. So this is like directly giving your data, it will be going into that particular register. This is called as a immediate addressing mode. So this can be either a 6-bit or 8-bit or 16-bit can be, data can be given. Next one is direct addressing mode. So direct addressing mode means here offset address. When you given some square bracket like this, which indicates your offset address, it is directly specifying the data, like this offset address will indicate your data is present in some memory location. You have to get the data from this specified address, and that will be moved to the AX registers. Okay, say example here it is given like move AX comma some offset address is given. So be using this offset address, we have to go to the location. This is your memory. Okay, what is the offset address mentioned? It is 5000. So in this address, what is the data is present? 22, right? Usually this offset address will be pointing to your data segment 1. Okay, because by default your memory, all the data will be reside in a memory location of your data segment. So this offset address, using this offset address, it will going to point to your content of your data segment registers. So how you will calculate this address? Using this offset address, it will go to the particular location. You have to first calculate using data segment. Your address, effective address will be calculated like this: data segment into 10, because in order to make it as a 20 bit data, this is your 16, and when you give when you multiply with 10, you will get totally 10 bit we will get. So plus this offset address, that is 5000. So this will be the effective address for this instruction. So this 22 and next 33. When you calculate this, try to get a next address, it will be like 33. So here register addressing mode. So register addressing mode means in both the instruction set, all the things will be a register basis. Like data register, some register locations will be specified. So that register, you have to take that particular data, and that will be transmitted, or any other arithmetic operations will be performed using the registers. All will be registers. So here, for example, move AL comma BLH is given. So in BL, so you see what is the data, it is AB, and in BH what is the data is given, 10. So when you start executing it, your BH this AB initially when it was in BL, it comes to AL. Okay, the data will be everything will be specified. Data is stored in your register and it is referred using the particular register value. Then it is called as a register addressing mode. So in BL you had AB, that will be moved to AL. So here it is AB. Similarly in BX what you add, that will be moved to AX, means in BX you have like 10 AB, it will be transferred to AX value. So These are some example for register addressing mode. And next one is register indirect addressing mode. So here you will not directly specify the register. Here I have what I did, directly register locations is given, but here instead of that, when it is indirect, you will specify using the offset registers. In a square bracket, if I'm writing bx means it indicates in that register you have the address of your data. So address of the data, this data will be in data segment. So this bx will contain the address of that particular memory location. Okay, it is an indirect way. For example, if I give move ax comma offset, it is represented in a square one. Here you have, instead of the address, previously it was like I think in a direct addressing mode we have seen an address is given, but here instead of giving directly the offset address, we will give the this address will be stored in this particular register. So bx, for example, move ax comma bx means you have to calculate first the effective one. So how the effective address is calculated is 10 into data segment. This is calculating the effective address. So 10 into data segment plus the address of bx. So in bx, whatever address is there. So what is the address present in bx register? It is 5000, right? So this 500, I have to get this address from the register. Previously, when it is direct address mode, in the instruction itself, they have directly specified the offset address. But here, the offset address will be stored in the register. We have to go to the particular register and you have to get the offset address first, and then your effective physical address will be calculated. Plus 10 into data segment. This is for calculating the effective address. When you calculate this one, you will get the data to ax is nothing but in 5000 you had 22, and in this one you will get 33. So can you tell me what is this addressing mode is, and what is this addressing mode? We have seen three types like immediate, direct, register, indirect. So which is the addressing mode this particular instruction corresponds to? What is this addressing mode? Can anyone see? Not able to identify? At least guess. I think only three addressing modes I have, four addressing modes I think I have taken. Can you say which category it comes to? See here, offset address is given in a square. Offset address is directly given in the instruction. So which addressing mode it corresponds to? So it will be a direct addressing modes. Like you have given the offset address in your instruction directly. So it will go to that particular memory location. You will take a data. That's why it is a direct addressing mode. So here CX data, it is whatever it is there, it is going to the particular memory location, like 56 is stored here and 43 is stored in the next location. So next one is indexed addressing mode. So this index addressing modes is like whatever offset value. Generally, we will give offset address of your operand, right? It will be stored in, usually if you stored in register means it will come under register indirect. If your offset address is stored in some instruction index registers, like index register means it can be source index or destination index. If you are storing your offset address in any of this index register means it is called as a indexed addressing mode. Okay, here also you will calculate the effective addresses like 10 into data segment. By default, all the data in a data segment only, no? So it is 10 into data segment plus this offset address that will be transferred into your destination register. For example, if you are taking move AX comma SI, so SI is a source index, your offset will be present in this particular address, in this particular indexed register. So in this index register, you are having the offset address. So after finding this offset address in your memory, you have to get those data. Though this memory, you have to go for data segment 1. Okay, you have to find out what is your data, and from that data will be transmitted into your AX. So this destination address is nothing but you will calculate a physical address using this offset address, that is 10 into data segment plus your offset address. So are you able to understand your how to calculate effective address and how the content is transferred into your register? So any doubts up to this? So similar to your indexed address, you have register relative addressing mode. So register relative addressing mode means along with your register, you will be given with some data will be available. So for calculating your effective address, so this data can be like 8-bit or 16-bit along with the content of your register, it will be present. So whenever you have like this, when you're calculating your address, what you will do is you have to, this is your offset address will be stored in this particular register, that is BX. You have to add this BX with this offset address, that is 50. Sorry, this offset address will be added with this numerical, either 8-bit or it can be a 16-bit content. You have to add this offset address or present in this register along with this 50. Say for example in BX you have address is 5000. You have given one more displacement, that is 50. Add this data with 50, so it will be 5050. The final indexed address is 5050. This is memory location is wrong, it should be 50. Okay, so that content will be transferred into your AX. So like that, any displacement is given along with your register offset address of stored in your register, it will come under the register relative addressing modes. Here also you will calculate the effective addresses using 10 into DS plus you have to add this 50 plus offset address of BX. Okay, so instead of BX, it can be like SI also, index source index register also they can specify. And the next one is base plus index register mode, which means base plus is given, which means a base register you have to use along with your index register you have to use. So base register, adding the content of a base register and to the content of the index register, you will calculate the physical address. Like move AX comma, when you are given with base and source means, so you have to see what offset address is there in BX and what is the offset address is there in your SI. Add these two, that will be the final indexed address, that is 3000. So in 3000, what is the data that will be going to your AX? Okay. So this is the example for base plus indexed addressing mode. And the last one is base relative plus index addressing mode, which means whenever you are given with the relative, which indicates some displacement is given to the content. Same like previous. Along with this, if you are having any displacement content, it can be 8-bit or 16-bit data is there, then it comes under the base relative plus index addressing mode. So you will add these two, like along with 50, you have to add bx plus si. It will be the final indexed address. That will be 12. So after that, this we will see in the next class. This is some problem related to this addressing mode. So any doubt up to this? And regarding the project component, you can make a group maximum of 5 members and minimum can be a 1. You have to decide your title based on 8086 processor, or it can be any Arduino board related microprocessor project. So decide your title and make a group. You have to update me by this week. Okay, I will send you some form. In that you have to fill your member names and register numbers and their title of your project. Is it clear?
Ma'am, you are expecting any hardware project or any software project only?
Software, that depends on it. It is not required you have to do hardware only. It is not like that. It is your wish. Software itself fine. If you're going for software, you have to do using 8086.
Okay. If we show you the simulation test, fine?
Yes, it's fine.
Okay, ma'am, got it.
Okay. So any doubt in this classes? Am I going fast, or what thing you required regarding this classes? Are you able to understand? Any issues in that? Why no response?
No.
No. So if anything is there, just tell me. Okay, I will go a little bit slow also. No issues. So any doubts you can ask me to repeat again.
Ma'am, how many partners can we have for the project component?
Maximum 5.
Okay, ma'am.
You can do individual also. That depends on you. Maximum can be 5. And regarding lab, you try to download. I will send you link also otherwise once again for downloading that software. We are going to do in EMU emulator 8086. I will send you the link. You can download it for the project. Sorry, for lab also, and you can do the project also in that. No issues. So I have posted a Google Drive. Like here, you will get the software. You can download it for lab, and if you want, you can do your project also using this emulator. Fill your register numbers and you can leave.